Good day, classes. Today we will be working and reviewing on rates and unit rates. At your groups, you guys will get an envelope or a pack of a bunch of really what are called task cards. And each card has a number on the corner, bottom left, and asks for different things. Almost everything involved revolves around finding a unit rate. So today I'm going to show you how you're going to approach this with your groups. So get your envelopes out. And what you're going to do first of all is you're going to go ahead and get your cards in order. Now, mine are in random order, but yours, you'll be putting them in the proper order. And I'm going to go through a couple of examples with you guys so you know how to solve them. So, let's go ahead and look at card number 5. Card number 5 says, Aaliyah ran 6 miles in 2 hours. Write her unit rate of speed. Use the tape diagram below to help you answer the problem. Now, what you're going to do for this one is you're going to, on your dry erase boards, you're going to go ahead and basically recreate this bar diagram because you're not going to be writing on any of these cards. So you're going to recreate the bar diagram like I did here, and then I went ahead and filled it in. And here's how the bar or tape diagram is used. Basically, we know that she ran for 2 hours. That's what these two sections stand for. The first hour, hour 1, and then her second hour. We also know that she ran 6 miles in those 2 hours. So each of these little sections on top measures how many miles she ran at a certain point. So in the first hour, she ran 1, 2, 3 miles. And by the end of 2 hours, she had run 4, 5, 6 total miles. Now, what I want you to show me, other than a tape diagram, is also your unit rate. Now, in this case, unit rate is measured in miles per hour. That means we want to know how many miles we're going to have in 1 hour. In order to do that, I go ahead and just refer to my diagram. I know in 1 hour, we've gone a total of 3 miles. So therefore, I write my unit rate as a fraction of 3 miles over 1 hour. Finally, to answer this question, I will say Aaliyah's rate of speed is 3 miles per hour. Now, you're doing a lot of your work on your dry erase boards, but you're going to have to put your final answer somewhere. So if you go to Google Classroom, you'll see there's a document I've uploaded. The document's called Rates and Unit Rate Task Card Answers Sheet, Day 1. It's Day 1 because we'll be doing this over 2 days. Now, number 5, which is the one I just showed you, is demonstrated on this video that you're watching right now. Number 5 is this one that we're looking at. And the answer we got is Aaliyah's rate of speed is 3 miles per hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my document, and for number 5, I'm going to type in that exact answer. Aaliyah's rate of speed is 3 miles per hour, period. You will answer question 6 and 7. Question 8 is a little different. This one says written proof is required. That means for number 6 and 7, you'll go ahead and do all your work on the dry erase boards. But for number 8, you're going to be given a hard copy. And for that, here's what it's going to look like. You're going to basically be given a copy of a paper that looks like this. And it's going to have number 8 on top, the same as the one in your stack of cards. And you're going to have to model for me. And on this card, you may write, fill in all the spaces, and then give me your final answer for what the unit cost is in this example. You will model it just like the 3 previous problems that came before this. If you're still not sure how to do this after you've done the other problems, please raise your hand and let me know. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move on to my next set of examples, which is card number 9. Card number 9, right here, says, and we actually need to zoom in really quick. It says, write the situation below as a rate in fraction form, then express it as a unit ratio. Let me see if I can make this a little clearer for us. There we go. And then it says, Casey read 12 books in 6 weeks. So, what they asked us to do was to write it as a fraction. So we have Casey who read 12 books in 6 weeks. Now, we're going to divide. Here I have a note for you. This is going to help you find a unit rate for every part of this assignment. To get the unit rate, divide the numerator, which is your top number, by the denominator, your bottom number. So I would divide 12 by 6. When I say divide numerator by denominator, that means the top number or your numerator goes in the division house, and your denominator, your bottom number, in this case the 6, goes on the outside. So 12 divided by 6 gives us our unit rate. That means in this case, Casey reads 2 books in 1 week. That's her unit rate. Remember, unit rate will always have a 1 on the bottom. It should always be per 1 unit, whatever it is you're measuring, weeks, dollars, pounds, whatever it is, per one, whatever. Now, our finalized answer is going to be Casey reads 2 books per week. That's our written answer. So I'll go back to my Google Doc that I have open, and I'll go ahead and find the space where number 9 is. Now, these ones that we're doing in the video are in red ink, or excuse me, in red colored text, but you can go ahead and change them or leave them. It's up to you. And our answer was Casey reads 2 books per week. And there's our final answer there. Now we'll go ahead and go on, and we're going to do a few more examples. You will continue to write the answers as I demonstrate them in the videos for the following problems for number 13, 17, 21, and 25. You will have to do written paperwork, proofs of the answers for numbers 8, 10, 15, 19, 22, and 28 for those cards. All the ones, you just have to give me the written answer after you've solved them on your dry erase board. So it's going to be a mixture of turning in work, digital work, and then working on your own. I'm going to go ahead and go on to my next example so we can go ahead and finish off this first day of card sorts. So after you complete number 9, you will go ahead and do the hard copy or the paper copy of number 10. Follow the model like I did before, and of course ask any questions if you have any about how to do this if you get stuck. My next example I'm going to go through with you is number 13. Number 13 says express each rate in 2 ways, as unit rates in feet per minute and in minutes per foot for this example. So they already give us our relationship here. 5 feet in 10 minutes, that's our rate. So I went from feet per minute first. Feet per minute means the number of feet over the number of minutes. They give me 5 feet in 10 minutes. In order to get this into a unit rate, I have to divide the numerator by the denominator. So I had 5 divided by 10. Well, I know 10 doesn't go into 5, so I have a 0. Then I include a decimal and a 0 here. 10 does end up going to 55 times. So 5 feet in 10 minutes converts to the unit rate of 0.5 feet in 1 minute, or half a foot. Down here, we were asked to go from minutes to feet. So I want to know, what is my minute per foot unit rate? That means minutes divided by feet. I had 10 minutes and 5 feet. Luckily for me, this division was a lot easier. 10 minutes divided by 5 feet equals 2 minutes a foot. So here are my 2 answers. I have 0.5 or half a foot per minute and 2 minutes per foot. Those are the answers I will type into my Google Doc for number 13. To work out on my own, to be turned in, will be number 15. This one you'll do exactly just like we did the previous one. Make sure to include your units for liters and bottles. Do not just give number answers. The next problem I'm going to explain to you is number 17. Number 17 has to do with equivalent rates. This one, they're going to give us an equivalent rate. For example, it says, which rate from the choices is equivalent to the rate below? We have 98.5 miles on 5 gallons. And then they give us 3 different rates. You see I already made some marks because you're going to see how it's going to play out right now. What I did is I made a table. I have miles and gallons, the thing I plug in, the thing I get out. Now, they only gave me 1 unit rate, 98.5 for 5. But I knew I was checking for 7, 2, and 3. So I went ahead and put all those in order. And I know 7 would be my last number. 5 would be next, the one from my example. 3 would be the next one up. 2, and always, 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 I need to have my unit rate. In this case, how many miles for 1 gallon? Now, the only information they gave me was this right here, 98.5 miles for 5 gallons. So I need to find the unit rate. How many miles then for 1 gallon? In order to go from this amount to 1, I had to divide by 5. So 98.5 divided by 5 gives me my unit rate, 19.7 miles per gallon. Now I can easily do the rest of my table. To figure out how many miles I get for 2 gallons, I multiply 19.7 times 2, and I get 39.4. To figure out how many miles I get for 3 gallons, I multiply 19.7 times 3, and get 59.1. Once you have the unit rate, you can find the amount of miles for any amount of gallons. To figure out the number of miles for 7 gallons, I multiply 19.7 times 7, and that gives me this amount down here. Now that my table is complete, I can go ahead and just verify which answer is correct. choice A says 136.947 gallons. That's off, so I know that's incorrect, hence the X. For B, I check it for 2, and the same thing. It's also off. I get 39.4, not 39.2. The only one that came out true was the one for 3 gallons, and that is when I get 59.1 miles. So this is the true statement. You will have to do this to turn in just for one problem, and that problem will be for number 19. For the other two, I don't care what method you use, because there is more than one way to solve proportion problems, especially with equivalent rates. But for number 19, I want you to model it just like the previous one I did for number 17. My next example is going to be number 21. This one is about finding the unit price. Here it says we have $12 for 5 sandwiches. So this one's really easy. I'm going to write down the amount I have as a ratio, $12 for 5 sandwiches. I want to know how much for one sandwich, because remember, a unit rate, or in this case, a unit price, has to be out for 1 unit, in this case, 1 sandwich. So I'm going to divide my numerator by the denominator, 12 divided by 5. I'm going to show my division, and the answer I get is 2.4, which converts to $2.40. So the answer I will write for my Google document will be the unit price is $2.40 per sandwich. The dollar symbol can be accessed from the number row on top of the keyboard. So it can look just like this when you type it in. I expect full sentence answers, except for the previous problems, which are multiple choice. And you can just give me the letter for those ones. You're going to model in this same card set, number 22, just like this. You'll do it on your paper to be turned in, just like in the previous example. My final example for today is going to be example number 25. I didn't mean to show you the answers there, but you're going to see them anyways. And this one's about finding the total cost. And here they basically just give us some comparisons. We want to know how much it would cost for 12 centimeters of, work or material if it tells at the rate of $5 for 2 centimeters. So I went ahead and did the work here. I'm going to show you how to do the work. I set up my rate first, $5 for 2 centimeters. Although it doesn't ask for it, this assignment does involve requiring the unit rate. So I want you to show me the unit rate. The unit rate for this one would be then, if I spend $5 for 2 centimeters, how much do I spend for 1 centimeter? I'm going to divide 5 by 2, my numerator divided by denominator, or cut it in half, and I basically get this. It costs $2.50 per centimeter. You will tell me the unit rate in your response on your Google Doc, as well as answer the question. If I know it costs $2.50 per centimeter, then how much would it cost for 12? Well, I can multiply $2.50 times 12, or if you look at my example up here, I can go use a proportion. Here's another way. If it costs $5 for 2 centimeters, then how much for 12 centimeters? 2 centimeters goes into 12 centimeters times 6, so 5 times 6 gives me my price, $30. It costs $30 for 12 centimeters. That's my second answer I would write in my Google document for this problem. You're going to have to do the hard copy and show me the unit rate and the answer, the total cost, for card number 28. This will all be due by tomorrow. I will include a PDF file with this attachment of all the cards in case, or at least the ones that are due for class in case you want to see them. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to come and ask me for help. Thank you guys. Thank you very much, and good luck with this assignment.